Hey y'all, it's Dan. I got a fun little game I want to play with y'all. I got a letter written by Ben Franklin in 1751 talking about American immigrants. And in one paragraph he talks about a very specific group of immigrants. I'm gonna read it to you and you're gonna try and guess what group he's talking about. Why should the immigrants be suffered to swarm into our settlements, and by herding together establish their language and manners to the exclusion of ours? Why should Pennsylvania, founded by the English, become a colony of aliens who will never adopt our language or customs any more than they can acquire our complexion? Acquire our complexion. He was talking about Germans. In that same letter, he also refers to Italians, Spaniards, Swedes, French, Russians as having a swarthy complexion.
Any modern program or education on black history will always try to tell you that the black race was a race of savages or a race of slaves, but this is far from the truth. When we look back at history, especially throughout the period of the 1500s to the 1800s, we see kings, queens, lawyers, mathematicians, leaders of state. We see knights and saints. Slavery, as you know it, was a hoax, or what we call a psychological operation, because the black race was already in Europe, as we can see depicted in the art here, and we also know that the black race was already in America. All of the photos I am showing you are from European royalty. By understanding our true history, we can break the stereotypes that are cast out for us in society. Those who don't know their history are doomed to repeat it. For more information, join my Patreon.
Slavery was not a hoax. The first slave ships came out of Spain, then later the west coast of Africa. Over 100,000 so-called Jews, so-called Negroes, got expelled out of Spain and Portugal, okay? There was many so-called Negroes at the Spain slave market, all right? And far as the Americas go, North America, Central America, South America, as well as Canada and the Caribbean islands, our brethren, okay, the Northern Kingdom was over here, all right, which goes down from Ephraim all the way down to Issachar, okay? In modern names, you so-called North American Indians, you Seminole Indians, all right? Ephraim, which are you Puerto Ricans, you Mexicans, which are the tribe of Issachar, okay? A lot of people say they're Negroes because all tribes come from the waters of Judah, okay? So they had dark skin just like Negroes. I just want to clarify that so there won't be no confusion.
Things come from the Bible, and that the Bible was all written by black men and women. Abraham's father was a Chaldean. Chaldeans were started by Ethiopians. Ethiopians were black men. Tahor, also Abraham's father, would have been a black man, more than likely, or he would have been very dark. Okay, he wouldn't have been the fair-skinned Caucasians that you see in Israel now. He wouldn't have seen the Jews that you see with the tendrils. Those are not the 12 tribes of Israel. Those are not the Shemites. All the ancient ancestors that we get our entire structure from, books, modern mathematics, judicial system, all these things come from the Bible, and that the Bible was all written by black men and women.
All praise to YAHAWAH, BaHaSHAM, Yahawashi. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, this lesson is going to be entitled The Little Mermaid Controversy, The Little Mermaid Controversy, and Job 9:24. All right, the Little Mermaid Controversy and Job 9:24. Matter of fact, let me take a picture right here. So I've been kind of holding on to this lesson for a little while. There was a recent controversy, which I've been, like I said, I've had this lesson playing for a minute, but I wasn't able to, really didn't feel compelled to get into it. And didn't really know which direction I wanted to go in with it until just tonight I was sitting here and decided to go into it. Anyway, the movie The Little Mermaid, right, which was a cartoon, I think it was a Disney cartoon. There's been a recent controversy about it because they're going to do a remake. And the character that they're going to use, instead of using little white girl, they use a so-called black girl. And the Edomites, the so-called white people of the world, are angry about it, which is really, really fucking stupid. This movie doesn't even, it's not even real. It's some fake shit. Anyway, from Rolling Stone, and this shows the hypocrisy of you so-called white people. It should show you so-called Negroes that these people still hate you to this very day. They're so mad about some fictitious, some characters that are not even real when they themselves have covered over our ancestors in the Bible, okay, and in history, excuse me. Now let's read real quick here. This is from Rolling Stone. It says, racists are worried about the historical accuracy of mermaids. Oh, Lord. And as you can see, this is from September 14, 2022, which is a little more than a month ago. You see here in the picture, and I think the voice that they're going to use is the voice of Halle Berry, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong on that. All right. Anyway, let's read a little bit of this article. It says, last week was the D23 Expo, a time when nerds and Disney adults, it's like, I can't get this damn thing to do anything. And Disney adults from all corners of the nation unite to preview the Disney company's upcoming park and film release offerings. One of the most talked about previews at the expo was the teaser trailer release for The Little Mermaid, Disney's much anticipated live action reboot of the classic cartoon starring Halle Berry. So yeah, it's a cartoon and Halle Berry is in it. It says, of the celebrated sister duo Chloe and Halle as the titular red-haired mermaid. Excuse me. Most people were thrilled about the teaser, praising its sumptuous visuals and Bailey's stunning vocals in a snippet of Part of Your World. Most people, that is, except racists who promptly took to social media to pee in their diapers about a black woman being cast as a mermaid. And you can see a trailer there, which I'm not going to play it. It says, almost immediately a slew of very normal and well-adjusted adults took to social media using the hashtag not my Ariel, fucking devils, to complain about Bailey's casting and Disney being overly woke. Hashtag not my Ariel at Disney Studios. Any reason why everything has to be black? Are you starting to realize people are fed up and frankly bored? You do realize this is doing the opposite with racism, yeah? I bet you that the Hercules actor in Meg will be black. Oh boy. Hashtag go woke, go broke. So this is little Edomites saying they're gonna not support the film. And really, who gives a fuck? Who cares about any of this shit? If I couldn't tie it into the scriptures, I wouldn't even give a damn. It says, read one representative tweet confusingly attaching a photo of future Snow White star Rachel Zegler, who is quite famously not black, as proof of this phenomenon. You can, I'm not gonna bother to go into more of that. Well, since I'm already about at the end of the article, I'll read the rest. It says another tweet showing someone using AI to turn Bailey's skin white also went viral. Noted transphobe and arbiter of great judgment Matt Walsh also got involved, writing on Twitter, quote, Hollywood changes traditionally white characters into black while claiming that the reverse would be black erasure. What this tells us is that by their own admission, they are engaged in white erasure. It's just that we aren't supposed to notice or complain, end quote. And at the end of the day, you damn white people so worried, as this thing says, the whiny tweets. People just whine a lot. What about all the shit you did in covering over the images in the Bible? And really, this is much to do about nothing. I'm glad I'm able to do this lesson and get this off of my damn phone. And I'm gonna show you some images. So these little white people, they all messed up. You know, they bitching and crying over this little mermaid character. And then some of them have even drew images. And I'm gonna show you some of them. This one right here, you see, they drew an ugly ass, dark skinned little mermaid, right? And they put a piece of watermelon on the damn thing. You Edomites, you're really petty. You're really some petty ass devils, man. And I'm gonna see which one of these I'm gonna use for a thumbnail. This is one that they did. Here's another brother was sharing in a post. This one they put the little mermaid, right? They put a black face, so-called black face on a white mermaid's body, drew in some little fake ass dreadlocks, and then they put packs and Newports. Packs and Newports all in the thing. You people are petty as fuck and you hypocrites. Oh, and they put the little mermaid. And you can see how the Yahawah shared these. Esau is pissed over the little mermaid being a so-called black woman. And you people are really fucking petty, man. You are very petty. On this one, right, it says, now they got the little mermaid looking like she's supposed to look, right? And then they do things like they put a white face on historically so-called black people. Like they got Mel Gibson looking like Martin Luther King, right? You know, they say Martin Luther King and they put Mel Gibson's face on it. Here's another one. They got Barack Obama, then they got a white guy playing him. Nelson Mandela in the middle got a white guy playing him. 12 Years a Slave with a white guy playing him. Muhammad Ali with Mark Wahlberg playing him. Martin Luther King, right? Same deal there. Obama, same deal. But now what you really actually don't understand is that you really did do this in history. You fucking devils. That's why I want to do this lesson. You fucking devils. This showed you that they know about iconoclasm and you got caught trying to be fucking funny. As a matter of fact, let's first, before we show more images, let's read it in the scriptures. This is what these devils have done. They took figures that were historically so-called Negroes or so-called black people, and they painted them white. That they did with the Lord, the Savior, right? Who the world says Jesus Christ. They did it with the Israelites. They painted over, they made the Bible into a so-called white book. Okay. Now this is in the scriptures, Job 9 verse 24. It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. It's telling you that the portion of rulership given into the hand of a people known as the wicked. This is how you will know who they are. It says he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? They cover the faces of the judges. The main judge being the Savior, who the world calls Jesus Christ, but in fact his name is YAHAWASHI. And they also did that with the people that were the Israelites. They moved into the land and they took the land upon themselves. Okay, let's go and look at some of these images because these are real and true. Now this is from the brother Zana Mouth, right? Historically, there's a figure named William Shakespeare, and all of you think that Shakespeare was a white dude, but in fact he was a brother. All right, now it says right here, William Shakespeare, English playwright, poet and actor, before and after. Before these devils got a hold of it, this is what it looked like. After these devils got a hold of him, this is what it looks like. And it's the same thing with the Bible. You people have done a marvelous work in wickedness. Now the thing is this: you can tell when when shit is so bad that people that you thought your whole life was white dudes. This is how thorough of a job they have done in painting over images, right? Defacing images, iconoclasm. As a matter of fact, let's see if we cannot go here. Let's look up the word iconoclasm, right? Because you got the word icon, which means image, if I'm not mistaken. And you got the clasm, which means to destroy or deface. Now, iconoclasm. There it is. Define iconoclasm.
Iconoclasm.
The action of attacking or assertively rejecting cherished beliefs and institutions or established values and practices. No, the rejection of destruction, the rejection or destruction of religious images as heretical. The doctrine of iconoclasm. And this is what you devils have done. What does iconoclasm mean? Iconoclasm literally means image breaking. and refers to a recurring historical impulse to break or destroy images for religious or political reasons. And this is part of the devil. These so-called white people, these Edomites, when they came into authority, when they took over the earth, this is what they've done. They've covered over images to make you think, to sway your opinion of who the Israelites were. They have basically moved into our land, took it over, and said that they were us, that defaced images. And now they have a fucking nerve to be mad over a character that's not even real. Now this is just one a minute. There was Shakespeare. Here's another one. This is Alessandro de Medici, Duke of Florence, Italy. Right before so-called black man. Afterwards, a damn cracker. See, a pasty devil, a Edomite, a leprous dog. This is what they've done. And they've done this too partially to conceal a portion of history known as the Dark Ages, which you also had Shakespeare was a part of that. See, this is all an effort to hide our true identity as the Israelites. Okay, they painted over images. Let's get another. This is another one here. We weren't supposed to know that we were kings and that we ruled over Europe for around roughly a period of 1,000 years. Right? When you read about those great kings of Scotland and Britain and Denmark and all these other places, Germany, right? That was Israelites ruling in those lands during the Dark Ages. We ruled over Europe. And then these devils, when they came into power, when they came back into power during the Renaissance, the rebirth, they painted over the images, they moved landmarks, they changed history, they changed the name of lands and all of that. This right here is King Casimir III, the Great of Poland, from around about 1333 to what I think it says 1370. King of Ruthenia, 1340 through 1370. Before and after. Before, a proud brother. Afterwards, a shameless devil. See, with leprosy. This is what they've done, and this is historical documents. Iconoclasm is very well known. We read it in Job 9:24. Let's go now real quick and get 1 Maccabees chapter 3. 1 Maccabees chapter 3. And this was also hidden. The Apocrypha was taken out of the Bible. Further attempt by these devils to conceal identities and to take away part of our history. This is First Maccabees. What was it? 1 Maccabees 13, is it? I'm sorry, 1 Maccabees 3. And we'll start at 47. We'll start at 46. We'll start at 45. Now Jerusalem lay void as a wilderness. There was none of her children that went in or out. The sanctuary also was trodden down, and aliens kept the stronghold. The heathen had their habitation in that place, and joy was taken from Jacob, and the pipe with the harp ceased. It says, wherefore the Israelites assembled themselves together and came to Mosphah over against Jerusalem. For in Mosphah was the place where they prayed aforetime in Israel. Then they fasted that day and put on sackcloth, and cast ashes upon their heads and rent their clothes. So they were in prayer and mourning and fasting. Then they fasted that day and put on sackcloth and cast ashes upon their heads and rent their clothes and laid open the book of the law. So they was in mourning, right? And they was in prayer and fasting because they wanted to be delivered from the heathen. And they laid open the book of the law. It says, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. So it's always been a plan of the wicked. This is before we actually got completely taken down by these damn devils, man. 70 AD, the Greeks and the Romans, they sacked Jerusalem. We went through a lot of turmoil, but what did they do? We laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. See, it's always been a scheme. They had always sought to paint their likenesses over our images, and they finally accomplished it and achieved it. This is why you believe that Shakespeare and the great kings, right, and historical figures, even the Israelites, are white people. This is why you thought that, because they did a good job. And the scriptures further describe it. It says here in Micah chapter 2 and verse 1, it says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. How is it in the power of their hand? Because the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. And how do they do that? They change landmarks. They chip noses off statues. They change the names of lands. Let's go here real quick. Psalms 49 and 11. They even changed lands. They call Africa. They used to be called the land of Ham, but these devils, they called it Africa after who? After one of their ancestors, after Leo Scipio Africanus. Let's get it right here. This is the devil right here. Leo Scipio Africanus is what they named Africa after. America is named after Amerigo Vespucci. See here? And there's a whole lot of history on that stuff. It's all over the place. Look right here. Are you descendants of two white men? This is what they call African Americans. See? It's all over the place. And this is known history. You can see their busts. Look at this one. Right? Amerigo Vespucci, named after America, has America named after Amerigo Vespucci. Leo Scipio Africanus. This is what Africa is named after. See? Now, if you go to Psalms 49 and 11, it says, and it's talking about the wicked. It's talking about the wicked. Let's see here. See, up at the top, it starts talking about, hear ye this, verse 1, all ye people give ear, all ye inhabitants of the world. Okay? Going to the inhabitants of the world. It says, verse 5, wherefore should I fear in the days of evil, when the iniquity of my heels shall compass me about? They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches. Who is that? Who has the riches on the earth now? Who boasts in their wealth? You know. None of them by any means can none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to the Most High a ransom for him. For the redemption of their soul is precious, and it ceaseth forever. Speaking on the Israelites, that he should still live forever and not see corruption. For he seeth that wise men die, likewise the fool and the brutish person perish and leave their wealth to others. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. And who is this? The wicked, the so-called white man Esau. You see it? You see it? And he's also called in the scriptures the rich man. If you read a parable about the rich man and Lazarus, this man is called the rich man. Now, let's move on. Now also, it went further than that. They put a covering over all nations by conquering, changing the name of lands, annexing lands and doing all of that. This is Isaiah 25 and 7. It says, and he will destroy in this mountain. The he that's going to destroy is the Most High. YAHAWAH, BaHaSHAM, YAHAWASHI. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering. There's that covering again. He covereth the faces of the judges. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people. This man cast a covering over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. How did he do it? By oppressing a man in his house, even a man and his heritage. This is how this man has done it. Let's go back to Micah. He moved into your land, took it over, said he's you're somebody else. There's other people over here is somebody else. Micah 2 and 2 again, it says, and they covered fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. See, they oppress you and your heritage. And it's a whole family that's guilty. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go heartily, for this time is evil. And that family is Esau, Edom, the Edomites, the so-called white man. This is, I just knocked off my damn tab. Let's go here though. Job. Salakia. The book of Job 9:24. I'm sorry, doggone, it's Job 24. We read 9 and 24 already. This is Job 24 and verse 1. It says, why seeing times are not hidden from the Almighty? Do they that know him not see his days? Why are those that know the Lord not seeing the days of this man's end. It says, some remove the landmarks. What? Some remove the landmarks. They violently take away flocks and feed thereof. They drive away the ass of the fatherless. They take the widow's ox for a pledge. See that? So these are the people that take over. They just take things that they want. They covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. And let's even go to Ezekiel 36 and show you that they took the Most High's land and they parted it. This is Ezekiel 36 and verse 5. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea. Idumea is Edom, Esau, Edom. What did they do? It says, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey. You see that? This is what they've done. They took over the Most High's land, called it their own, right? They said that they're the real, they covered faces, took your land, changed the names of lands, and they said they were you, but didn't have the nerve to be pissed off over a fucking cartoon, which we didn't even, no, I won't say we, but the people that are in it, they didn't unrighteously take it. This is just what the company decided to do. The Little Mermaid, you see him here with a piece of, looking like a dude with a wig on, with a damn piece of watermelon. These hypocritical devils, man. The Little Mermaid with packs of Newports. It's pretty damn funny, man. And then they show you there that they know about iconoclasm. See, that's why we zinged you devils with the scriptures. And it is what it is, man. You can be mad about the stupid Little Mermaid. The shit mermaids don't even exist. But then you act like we don't have the right to expose you on all this iconoclasm that your damn ancestors did, you damn devils. Anyway, the Lord has got the light on these devils, shining it on them. Oh, and by the way, if you doubt the validity of us being kings and rulers, let's go real quick. There's a book that's called Nature Knows No Color Line, right? No color lines. Nature knows no color lines. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's by Rudolph Windsor. Yeah, this is it right here. You can get see, this book used to be very cheap, but now it's expensive, right? Look up the book Nature Knows No Color Line, right? If we can get into a PDF, we'll do it. Let's see if we can bring it up, and I can show you there are actual busts. Yeah, here we go. There's actual images in that of royal coats of arms from so-called Negroes, right? Which really was just Israelites that ruled in Europe. Let's see if it'll come up. As you can see now, it's buffer is taking its time. Let's see if we can get another one. That one didn't want to come up. Nature Knows No Color Line. See if we can get it here. This is amazing. This thing don't want to give it to us. But I've seen this book, and it's got coats of arms of so-called Negro rulers from Europe. Where did they come from? Can get that one to open up. See if we can get this damn thing to open. Read PDF. This is on Twitter. So we can get it. All right. It says download it, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. Yeah, I'm not gonna download it on my phone. Let's just see if we can get it to come back up in one of these other. This is terrible that it won't. This thing is just basically buffering. Look at that. This is whack. See if we can get it to come up in one of these other windows. Yeah, you know what? This is it. It's going to the book, right? Look at this. It goes into all that. Look at this. Negroes from ancient Greece. what else we can see. Negroes from ancient Greece. So we have a very broad history. That's why we're telling you that those Greeks, you know, there is neither Jew nor Greek. It's talking about Israelites. See? But you gotta be, hey, you gotta study. Study to show yourself approved unto the Most High. I want to get to the good stuff here, man. Let's see here, brothers. Look at this. Negroes in Rome. Those Romans were Israelites. In the book of Romans, it talk about Israelites. But these devils try to hide all of this. They don't want you to know. Look at this. Prince of Tafaleta, Morocco. There's so much more stuff in this. Salakia, brothers, this damn thing. Come on. Now it doesn't want to open up. Wouldn't you know it? There we go. Now I can't see it. Oh, come on. You know, we ain't doing nothing else. I'm gonna show you some of these if I can. Lord, will we get this thing to act right? Now the images don't even want to come up. Hold up. Just hold up here. Yeah, let's do that. Look at that. Royal coats of arms of so-called. Oh, come on, man. It's awful. See what else we could get. I want to show you some of these coats of arms. There we go. We can get these on the screen. Oh. Yeah. That's okay. Around about 80. Look at that. Now how can I make it stay there? Page 80. Look at that. It's got a lot of history in this book. Was it 85 roundabout? Look at this. Negroes in coats of arms of noble families. See this? Noble families, meaning families of rulership. All types. French, Italian, Spanish, Polish families. This is history. And these devils have covered over them. Look at this. Grafmeyer. See that? France, Germany. We were rulership. That's why these devils will come on your comment board. German families with names of Negro origin. That's why these people will come on your comment board and say we was kings. Because we were kings. Moors in French, German, Dutch, and other European families. The Moors, man. In Spain and all over there. Look at these. Negroes in coats of arms of noble families. So all this stuff has been suppressed and hidden. German families. Note the Negroes wearing crowns and the archbishop's mitre or mitre. See that? Crowns. This is coats of armor. Coats of arms. Look at this. Fürst von Kempten. So he ruled Europe. German. Look at this. Heavy stuff. Heavy stuff. A lot of that wealth and all that over there, it belonged to us. See? It says in Holland and Germany were Schwarzman, that is black. There are families with such names with Negroes in their coats of arms. Belgium has several Moors, de Moors, a Moor von Emersel, and other Moors with Negroes. Some of these could have been Negroes in the army of Spain when the latter ruled the Netherlands. Poland has a Mora with a Negro. France has many families of Moray, Morel, Moracald, Moro, Morat, Moro, and many other derivatives of Moor. represented by Negroes, Les Noirs, which is still used in France for the black man, was one of the great French families with branches in Anjou, Normandy, Brittany, and Beaune as a Negro. Slovakia. The family Negre, still used by the French for Negro, also has a Negro. I mean, it goes on and on. See, these just bywords, you know. Moors were nothing more than Israelites. Many of them practice Islam as their religion. But this is just to show you that we was all over there in Europe. We were royalty at a point. Even Queen Charlotte right here, who Charlotte, North Carolina is named after. And they even got a statue there. I don't know if the statue is really her. It says an ancestress of George VI of England. Queen Charlotte Sophia, consort of George III, and grandmother of Queen Victoria from a portrait by Thomas Fry. So all that shit with Queen Elizabeth and King Charles and all them old devils over there in Britain, all that go back to our people. They just kind of, you know, stepped into it and said it was them it was talking about. Anyway, that's it for the lesson. You know, we got a great history as the Israelites, and it's coming out more and more. But for now, these white niggas is mad over us being the Israelites, number one, but they mad over this stupid ass Little Mermaid shit. After all that rape, robbery, and murder they didn't hear from us, all that iconoclasm, should I say? After all the rape, robbery, and murder that they committed and hid our history and ancestry from us and painted over it, they got a nerve to be mad over a fucking image, you know, of a fucking kids movie. These people are hypocrites, man. Salakia. Yeah, so these images are true. We know that. Whenever you bring it up, so-called white people make like it's ridiculous, but that's okay. They're just ignorant of history. All right, we'll see you again soon with another lesson. Lord willing, all praise to YAHAWAH, BaHaSHAM, YAHAWASHI. Shalom.